CSEE-plans, PLANS, /hashtag small business, SMALL-BUSINESS. Again, thanks for having me, Dr. Manzi. This is Dana Oliva over at Alliance Insure Group, the benefit strategist here. I can be reached at 281-804-3494. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Always making the muddy waters of insurance much clearer. That was super helpful. We appreciate you. So, thank you all for being here on Pain Diaries today. I'd like to take this time to thank our special guests on today's episode. What a great time discussing pain relief patches, insurance options, and finding relief with yoga. I'd also like to thank our special guest, Dr. Jordan Tate from Southern Spine in Jasper, Georgia. I'm Dr. Suzanne Manzi, physician owner of Performance Pain and Sports Medicine. Remember, you can find me at 4126 Southwest Freeway, Suite 1700 in the T-Mobile Tower on the feeder of Highway 59 in Houston, Texas, or down on Main Street in League City. Subscribe on YouTube to Pain Diaries Dr. Manzi to catch all my shorts and episodes, bringing you all things pain related and educational information on the newest and best technologies out there to make your life better. Remember, this is Pain Diaries. Take care of you so you can take care of business.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved. Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching NowMedia Television.
Hi, welcome to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and business guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television Networks. Well, here we are. We just ended the first quarter. We're getting ready to jump into the second quarter. What does that mean for business owners just like you? Well, I'm telling you, when I meet with my clients for the first time coming into a new quarter, we got a few things that we want to look at. First, we want to go back. We want to review what we did well in the first quarter. Let's sit down and figure out, hey, what did we do well? Did we get more efficient here? Did we close more clients? Revenue up? Profits up? What was it that we did better? One of the reasons we want to do that is because we want to take that and tweak it just a little bit so we continue to get better and better and better into Q2, Q3, and Q4. The next thing we want to do is sit down and take some honest to goodness looks and say, hey guys, where did we screw up? What challenges did we have in this last quarter? We want to do that because we want to make sure we can eliminate them and fix them. You know, this going into Q2 is a time we start looking at our team. We want to help our team become more efficient and better. So we got to understand where we personally struggled, where our team struggled, and where we as leadership can help them get better. That's one of the most important things we need to do as business owners every quarter. You got to remember, when I go ahead and help business owners, what we do is we help them figure out where they want to be 3 years down the road. We can't do everything to get to that 3 years. We break everything down into 90-day chunks. And in those 90 days, what we really want to do is hit the top 2 or 3 goals. So the goals are things that take you 90 days to complete. To achieve the goals, you need to do tasks or rocks or pebbles, whatever you want to call them, I don't care. But the tasks you need to get the goals done, those usually take a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks. And what we want to do is we want to make sure those are assigned and people know what they're supposed to be doing. In order for your team to become successful, they have to know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, when they're supposed to be doing it, and how they're supposed to be doing it. So if you've had a successful first quarter, pat yourself on the back. Go out and take what you did and go get better. If you struggled a little bit, that's okay. Take the time to reflect, go see what you did, and let's go put together a plan to get better. And that's all it's about. So we're really going to attack this today here on Biz Talk. Why don't you come back right after this, and we're going to have our guests, and we're going to talk about how to get better going into Q2. Stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
¿Sueñas con vender tus productos o servicios en Estados Unidos? Pareciera muy difícil, mas no es imposible. Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años de experiencia promoviendo productos latinoamericanos en el principal mercado del mundo. Si quieres aprender más, sígueme en todas mis redes sociales.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television Network. All right, it's been a few weeks since we've had her in here, but we got Kristen Gunderson. Kristen, how are you doing today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me back today, Michael.
Man, it's the middle of tax season.
Yeah.
How do we
like,
pull
we
you
have
out?
like a week and a half left.
Yeah, how do we pull you out?
I just knew that I had to get in here and get away and a different scenery, and I'll go back to doing taxes, and I'll be the better for it. So.
I was there. I spent 6 hours the other day finally doing my bookkeeping from last year. So,
doesn't that suck trying to do your bookkeeping all at once? Like,
yeah.
If you just did it like all the time, it'd be done, and you wouldn't have to spend like a whole day doing it.
Really?
Yeah. That's what people hire us for.
I know. I was a procrastinator. Oh my God, I'm a perfect procrastinator. All right, so you're doing a lot of new things right now. We were talking earlier, you're doing some CFO stuff.
Yeah.
And doing the CFO stuff, you started using this new tool. Tell us about the tool. Tell us the name about it, and why did you decide to use it?
Yeah, it's actually called Pathmaker, and I started doing it about a year and a half ago. I went through a business coach and started doing this Pathmaker program for my own self to learn more about me. I didn't know what it would be like or what it would do, but I literally, when I got done with it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've been doing bookkeeping and accounting for the last 20 years, and I feel like I've been in the wrong career like this entire time, and I'm like, having a midlife crisis, like what the heck do I do? And then going through it, I actually realized that I am more of a futurist instead of a realist, and bookkeepers, they really need to be realists. So with the futurist part, I really got to see that I love looking at the big picture. I love seeing, I can see out like what needs to happen, where the company needs to go. I love strategizing. And what I can do is I now use that 20 years of bookkeeping, accounting experience and know how to use the numbers, and I can actually see where the company wants to go, and I can take it from there. So I'm actually loving this new CFO side that I've added to my business to be able to help my clients grow their businesses and leverage what they have and just taking them to the next level. So I've been really enjoying it.
So let me ask you this question about Pathmaker. So you said futurist, realist. How many different options does it give you? Because I take it some sort of personality testing, right?
Yeah, it's some people do a personality test to be able to hire people and know like who they should be working with and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it really there's two big parts of it. One is you look at your interests, you look at your abilities, you look at your values, and the interests are like what you love to do. The values are what you need to be doing in order to give yourself meaning. And then there's like your temperament. Are you an internalist? Are you a socialist? Are you a futurist? Are you a realist? Are you a planner? Are you an analyst? And there's another one that I can't think of off the top of my head. It also lets you know if like what your motivated role is. Like, are you more of the creative side, the creative developer? Are you into developing? Are you a maximizer or a refiner? So it's just been really, really interesting to see all the the different personalities and to be able to see how to use them and when to use them. And I've actually started using it with all of my employees now. So now we're going through this in my employees, and I'm using it in the hiring phase. So I'm actually really enjoying this Pathmaker.
Well, yeah, because the hiring phase is one of the most difficult phases that business owners have. I mean, we used to teach something called the 4-hour hiring system, and I'm a big fan of group interviews. I really am. People hate it, but it really allows us to see how people interact with other people. And even if you're going to be somebody like a bookkeeper or an accountant, where a lot of times you're going to work on your own, you still have to work with other people and you have to see how you get along. So how are you using this with your clients? What are you helping them do, and how are you helping them set it up?
Yeah, well, with the hiring phase, I'll go there next. So I'm currently looking for a bookkeeper. Like, we are growing and expanding, and like I know, first off, with my clients and with me myself, like, we need to figure out what our organizational chart is. What positions are open in our company right now? What positions do we need to hire for in the future? And I'm doing this with my clients also. But just me using it with trying to look for a bookkeeper, like the first candidate that I had, like, they're sending in their resumes, so they can send in their resumes, and then, I have them take the motivated role to figure out, okay, are you creative developer, maximizer, or refiner? And I know for the position that I am hiring for, which is a bookkeeper, I need them to be a maximizer refiner. That means they like to do the same thing over and over again. It's very repetitive. They don't come up with a lot of ideas. They like doing the same thing over and over again. So I have them take that first, and then that is able to weed out people. Like, if they're way creative, I know, like, CFO or CEO people, like, those are the people that would be in the creative side. Like, if they're a creative developer, those are the people, like, you can be like, hey, I want you to start implementing this, and maybe come up with the policies and procedures, get it going good. And the developer, like, those are the ones, like, they're going to make sure that that role or whatever is going good, and they develop it, and then they push it off to the maximizers and refiners. So knowing what you're hiring for is the first thing, and then using that. So then the people who can use, like, they're the motivated role is the right fit for them. Like, okay, so I know the bookkeeper position, I need maximizer refiner. So anyone who's not that, they don't move on to the next role, the next interview phase. So then the next interview phase is I have them fill out the interests, abilities, and values to figure out what they love doing, what they enjoy doing, what they would like to do. And I can look at that. One guy I thought would be really great for the bookkeeping position, but it came back he has nothing in there said that he is accurate or perfectionist or is into finances or data entry. Like, none of those came back. Like, I figured out, like, if I were hiring for a customer service role, he would be really great for that, but that's not what I'm looking for at this moment, so he didn't move forward. I have another lady who we moved forward with because she was a perfect fit for that. And then I sent her the next part of, okay, are you realist or are you futurist? You a planner? So what type? So I had her fill out that portion of it, and you know what? So she's still a perfect fit so far on paper. So now she's moving forward with the interview. So I'm actually going to meet her in person. Like, I haven't spent any time interviewing this lady or anyone else yet, but now I am. So it saves a lot of time on the interview process of going through your time, because your time is valuable. You don't have time to sift through hundreds and hundreds of resumes. You can literally be sending this out to them, and then we just know what to look for, and when the results come back, we can figure out, okay, are they moving forward or do they get pushed back?
So I like what you're doing here, because when we used to teach people how to interview, is we just didn't even want to talk to them up front.
Yeah.
We wanted to see how well they listened, how well they did what they did. You know, we used to go send out when they had an ad and they answered the ad, there was a phone recording that we used and said, please don't send us your resume. Mm-hmm. And if they sent us their resume right then, out they go. They didn't follow directions. You know, they were going there.
Exactly.
So this is helping you deselect people based on the way that they're answering the questions.
Yes.
Okay. So it saves you a lot of time. But let's say now we're there, we get there. Are you looking for 1 to 2 candidates and then, hey, I'm going to go pick the two or out of the 2 or 3 that we get there?
Yeah.
How are we using it then?
Yeah, so exactly. We're using it that way to narrow down the candidates, but we only have 1, 2, 3 candidates left at the end, and then we can pick out which one will be the best fit, like personality, do we like them, that sort of thing.
So you're actually going to do interviews of 2 or 3 versus the 50.
Yes.
The 50 resumes you get.
Yeah, and then we make sure that we have the right fit for the right job before we even get them hired. And then another thing that we're doing is we're doing this for the employees that we already have, because we need to make sure that they are sitting in the right seat on the right bus. So having your employees do it, that's another thing we can do, because making sure that they're in the right job, because if they are in their sweet spot, pretend there's this little box, if this is everything that they love to do, that they're really great at doing, that they enjoy doing, if their job is in this little box, their productivity goes up, which means that you, the employer, are getting more productivity out of them, means you're making more money. If they're a little bit outside of this box, but still close enough, their productivity goes down 0.5% to 0.75%. But if you are having them do something that's way outside of their box, it's called the danger zone. So learning what the danger zone is and having the employees know, okay, this is way out here, it's way outside, it's in the danger zone, and having them be able to come to us and their employer in a safe spot, be like, hey, this client or this duty that I'm doing is out in the danger zone, then we can have conversations of, okay, tell me more about that. What about this client is in the danger zone for you? It's decreasing your productivity for I'm not getting as much.
Well, can I ask you a question about that? Let's say we've only got a minute or 2 left here. We're a small business. We can only afford 2 to 3 employees. So people are gonna have to do stuff that's not in their target zone, right?
Yeah.
How do we help them with that, and go from there?
Yeah. Well, we can have those conversations of, hey, this is the danger zone. So either one, like maybe it's a client that's in their danger zone. What we are doing is we're literally going to the client, having those hard conversations of like, look, this is what you are doing. A, B, C, D, and we either need you to start doing this or to stop doing this, and it might be communication. Like, I don't know what it is, like what's in the danger zone for those clients, but having those conversations, and maybe they just don't know, maybe they haven't had that tough conversation, but being like, you know what, we're going to put you on probation. Like, if you can't start doing A, B, C in the next 30 days, you know what, we're going to have to refer you out to someone else. Or if it's like duties that they're doing that aren't in their sweet zone, maybe it's someone else's sweet zone that they can get trained on, and maybe we just need to swap positions, or we can use a VA to hire out for that, or there's other options that we can do, or maybe hire another employee that would really excel, and we can use it during the Pathmaker, during the interview process, to make sure that they're the right fit for that position that we need.
Yeah, that's one of the things we do. If people are struggling, we give them either a 30 or 90-day period, then we move them out. Same with clients. We want to be able to make sure they're doing the right thing to fit with us. So, Kristen, we got 10, 15 seconds left. How do people get a hold of you?
You can give me a call at 936-372-2661, or you can text WIN to 855-798-3350.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Kristen. We appreciate you telling us about Pathmaker. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on Biz Talk TV. We're going to be back right after this.
Working, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds. Homes and businesses without a reliable security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Alert 360 provides custom-tailored rock-solid security solutions to residential and commercial customers. Whether it's home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood protection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, 24/7 alarm monitoring, and life safety, Alert 360 is your ideal solution. In addition, Alert 360 has smart home and business integrations like access control and video shield for a complete peace of mind, protecting what matters the most and reducing energy costs with our top-of-the-line automatic scheduling functions. Alert 360 offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Don't be a victim. Take a strong step today. Call Rosana Torres at 832-863-8574 for your free consultation.
Hi, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager. Next up is our good friends, Mac and Natalia, and they're going to talk to us about how to have successful mediations. Take it away.
Hi again. Thank you so much, Mike, for having us on Biz Talk. So today's topic, we're giving a few tips on mediation, and of course to talk about instantmediations.com, a company that we co-founded. So generally speaking, humans, it's in our nature to avoid conflict. We want to make people happy that we're in front of. We are natural people pleasers. We work with families all the time, and sometimes we realize that children want to make the parent they're in front of happy. It's just innate in us. So because of that, we try to avoid conflict. Some people, this is just ingrained in them. Certainly it's ingrained in me. I don't like to fight with people if I don't have to. In fact, I've heard somebody once say that when they go to a restaurant and they order their food and their food comes out kind of soggy or kind of cold, they actually would prefer to eat it rather than create conflict by calling the waiter or waitress and complaining about it to management. And so there has to be a better way, though. There has to be a way where you can be made happy, be made whole, and get the food you want, get the outcome you want, while at the same time not producing anger and antagonism in other people. And so this is what we're all about. We're about trying to help people who want to avoid conflict find ways to deal with it, to deflate it, and to handle it in a more effective way. And that's what conflict resolution is all about.
Because generally we believe that conflicts shouldn't be really avoided, they should be resolved in an amicable and respectful manner. And this is what mediation and other outside of court dispute resolution methods offer. So we focus on mediation this time because we want to present all the benefits of it again, both in life and in business. And what we see, how people come to us, most of them really think that when they avoid conflict, they will be happier, stronger, and perceived more as easygoing. However, that might rather suggest that someone lacks conflict management skills, which of course that can be taught. But mediator comes in there so that this third party neutral helps to see all this conflict in the totally new light and helps find solutions to move on, to move forward.
So just some basic tips. If you are having conflict, again, it's not your fault. If you don't know how to naturally deal with it, most people don't. It has to be trained. And that's why mediators go to mediation training school to learn it. And so if you're having conflict, reach out to a mediator and invite the other party to contact them as well. And so tip number one, persuade your party who is in conflict with you to attend mediation. Don't shove it down their throat. Just offer it as a way out, as a proposal that might help address the concern. But do it in such a way where it's not going to be seen as if you're trying to force mediation upon them. Help people understand what mediation is. And it's a way for people to deal with a dispute and conflict in a way that is beneficial to both parties involved. And only if it's beneficial to both parties involved in terms of the outcome will they agree to sign on the dotted line to resolve the dispute in its entirety. If it's not beneficial to both parties involved, then certainly it's going to probably go to the next step and go to court, or the conflict will keep existing. So in a way, there's a win-win for both parties who are involved, or even if it's multiple parties who are involved. So that's the first tip. Persuade the other side to attend mediation with you. Have them Google mediation. Have them go online and learn what mediation is for themselves so they can see, oh, okay, this is not something that is going to be enforced on me. This is something that is confidential. It's something that is being handled by a neutral person that is not on anybody's side. It's something that is affordable compared to going to court. It's something that can lead to a resolution that will make all sides happy.
And having said that again, someone might ask, okay, mediation. So how do I do that? What do I do first? Even if I have already this agreement that someone will go with me to this mediation, what do I do next? So next, what you do is you need to find a mediator. And again, quite a lot of people say, oh, but if this mediator was proposed by my husband, my business partner, there has to be bias. So one of the absolutely unnegotiable rules of mediation is that there is no bias, that there is respect, and that there is, the name of the mediator is the third party neutral. That means that mediator has no interest in resolving the conflict to the benefit of any of the parties, or has no interest in the topic of this entire dispute. That gives him absolute freedom in seeing all the meanders of this conflict and pointing to the parties what possible solutions they can have. If you don't know where to find a mediator, it's best that you go to our website, instantmediations.com, where we have a directory of mediations. Please know that there are people who specialize in particular areas of mediation. You can have elderly mediation, you can have divorce mediation, property mediation, you can have labor law, so employment or discrimination mediators, and we have been working to create such a catalog, such a directory, so that everybody can go online and have no doubts that whom they are picking is going to be a good choice for their dispute to be resolved professionally, with respect, and empowering the parties to make their own decisions.
So typically you would want to offer another tip of a few mediators to choose from to the other side. Don't just give them one mediator, the one that you've selected, because they may feel that that person is biased. And like Natalia says, neutrality is the most important part of this whole thing. So the mediator needs to be trusted. If they are not trusted, then people will not believe that the outcome will actually have the effect that they're wanting. And so on instantmediations.com, as was just referenced, there are plenty of people to choose from. And Natalia went down a whole list of different types of mediators who might be available. But there's also education mediators and bankruptcy mediators. And there's all sorts, any kind of conflict you can imagine, there's probably somebody there who's going to be able to help you and the other side reach some kind of agreement. And if it can't be reached, then that's what we have judges for, to help people break the impasse and get into some kind of final disposition.
So, okay, what do? I am now in mediation and I have the mediator. So, mediator explains the entire process to the parties, so reiterates all those important points. This is also the moment where you can ask your mediator any question you think is relevant about the mediator's qualifications, about the possible doubts you have or things that you don't understand in the process. Mediation is designed to be comfortable. Everybody needs to know and see that mediation is a safe place. And the safe place is there being created by the mediator, whether the mediation takes place in person or online. And you can count on just being comfortable, not being pushed to anything, being listened to. And there comes some other tips that we wanted to give to you when you are already in mediation. So there is a concept that's being growing in all these conflict resolution spheres of empathic listening. Previously, we have been talking a lot about just active listening. And active listening embraced just showing your interest into what is being said. However, empathetic listening is more about that you also understand what the other party is saying. You understand and you're willing to feel yourself in someone else's shoes.
So empathetic listening or active listening, all these skills are things that mediators bring to the table to help the parties see and understand things in a different way. There's also reframing when the mediator was going to help you and the other side see things in a way they didn't see it before. Look, we're all clouded by emotions, and so there's a lot of power in helping people see things differently. So anyway, hope these tips are helpful. If you have a conflict, you have a dispute, go to a mediator. As we always say, don't wait, mediate instead of calling an attorney first. We're lawyers, we're mediators, but we want to encourage you to pick up the phone and call mediator first. All right, check out more about us at alaskapeer.com.
And in our podcast at Lawyers and Mediators International at LMI on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you watch or listen to your podcast. Please remember that there is a lot of good material free for those who are pro se, so are not represented by attorneys, for those who are mediators also to learn more, and just risk it. Go for it.
Thank you.
Hey, that was some really great information. And what you got to do is you got to look at mediation. It's a great tool that can really help you and your business avoid some costly litigation. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on Biz Talk TV on the NowMedia Television networks. We'll be back right after this.
Working, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television networks. I'm so excited. It's that time of the show again. It's Leo Simpson. Leo, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Michael? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We'll get into that in a minute. I'm telling you, you should have been at our whiteboards and whiskey last night. It was good. When I was there, Lamar Curtis, who owns the place for Duda, is like, dude, you just look like a grump. And we need to get you over this. You look like the Grinch that stole Christmas.
Hey, let's talk about it.
But we won. All right, man. So we're going to talk about winning and winning big. What's the difference, man?
You know, winning is essentially you got some type of engagement, opportunity, operation, you win. right? Winning big is when your wins are, one, exponential, two, they provide you so much value more than the experience in the situation. And so I'll give you a perfect example. There's a guy that I follow, his name is Myron Golden. He talks a lot about all work works. He's like, some things don't work for you. And when they're not working for you, they're working on you. And so when we talk about winning and winning big, winning is more of, hey, something either works or works for me, whereas winning big is it's working for me and working on me, and regardless of which one it's doing, I'm always getting what I need from it.
Well, why should I want to win big versus just win, man? Doesn't I become greedy?
No, not at all. I think that what happens is we can get so enchanted by winning that we don't realize that winning as a result is bigger than just the moment, bigger than just the thing you get out of it. The winning big says that it becomes this all intrinsic and even extrinsic reality that allows me to have value that can be not only long term, but be able to provide me so much substantial development, productivity. I mean, you think about it. Most of us who are sound and impactful, very vibrant and, very effectual. That's the word I'm looking for. Effectual leaders in business, CEOs, executives, whatever the case may be. It's because of how we have leveraged not just our advantages, but also leveraged our adversities. And so when we understand that the winning big, meaning winning beyond just winning, becomes our focus as the thing that allows us to really excel at the highest level, that's when we can really go somewhere with this thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, okay, so we go there. Well, how do we predictably win big? I mean, it's winning's one thing, but going to that next level that you just explained, that's totally a different thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Let me talk about it. So there's a concept that I teach called the 3 C's of life.
Okay.
And these 3 C's, they break down from, I guess you'd say, top to bottom: contribution, compensation, and consumption. Now, you got to understand that all 3 of these are necessary. I mean, you cannot consume without some compensation, and you can't get compensation without contribution. So when you look at it, they have an interdependent relationship. They are independent on their own, but in order for them to really function within the context of our life, you need both of them, right? And so when it comes down to it, you've got to understand, while they are interdependent, here's where we get into not just winning, we get into winning big. These 3, in their interdependent nature, in order for you to know if you're winning or if you're just winning or winning big, you got to know which one you prioritize. Now, listen to me carefully. If you prioritize consumption, you're only living in the realm of what you receive. So yeah, you greedy, you're selfish. Now, if you're in the realm of compensation, it's all about your reputation, your recognition, your rewards. And, there's a little selfishness there, but it's a little different because it's not completely tangible all the time. When you get into the realm of contribution, this is what allows you to not only win big, but win big predictably all the time. When you prioritize contribution, what you do is you focus on your contribution to the extent that all you want to do is contribute at the highest level possible. What will happen is your contribution will far exceed your compensation, but it'll allow you to be compensated at the highest level possible. As well, your consumption will never be able to catch up with your contribution. So when you prioritize contributing, making sure that you're giving your greatest value in everything you do. For example, you were talking about how you were 0 for 3 this week. Well, guess what? Did you contribute at the highest level in each one of those? And your losses were not necessarily based on your contribution, but based on maybe the situations of your clients, circumstances, and the economy. Or was it some little tweaks within the context of how you contributed in that situation that you can take from this situation and be able to grasp? If that's the case, and you go and get those tweaks, leverage those advantages within the context of that adversity, then you position yourself to make quantum leaps over your compensation that you could have had and over the consumption that you could have had, because now you're poising your contribution to make you a predictable contributor no matter how many losses you have.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things when you go there look at your losses, I think you got to look at it like you do in baseball. You know, in baseball, you've only got to go 3 for 10 to be a multi-millionaire.
Come
on,
now.
a lot of times, I know what was my issue this month was I just didn't have enough closing opportunities. It was my own fault. You know, I didn't have enough closing opportunities. I kind of felt that the ones I had, I won, and little did I know I wasn't expecting that wicked curveball. You know, I'm just going into right now a baseball analogy since it just opened this week. You know, and that's what it was. We weren't expecting it. And as business owners, that happens all the time. And so how does learning how to hit that curveball change and help you win big consistently?
Man, you said it. You got to have more opportunities. You know, the same guy I was talking about, Myron Golden, he talks about, matter of fact, he even has a challenge called Make More Offers Challenge, right? So if you're swinging the bat 3 times, guess what? You're not going to be as good of a batter as somebody who's swinging the bat 10 times, 100 times. One of the things I loved about Kobe Bryant, and I really didn't follow Kobe Bryant a lot during his career, but towards the end of his life and after he retired, I really started to follow him more, especially because of what he was doing in business and how he was engaging his team and dealing with a lot of the interviews. And one of the things about Kobe, he talks about is the fact that he sucked when he was 10 years old. He sucked. He was the worst. Now, he was the son of a standout player, nephew of a standout player, and here it is. He's playing Summer League, the same one that they played, and he sucked. He was like, bad. I was slow. I was clumsy, all of that. You know what Kobe did? Kobe said, I got to have more reps than the guys that I'm playing against. And if I get more reps, then I can outwork them and my skill can actually get better than theirs within the context of even them being talented. And I will look more talented than them because I focused on, he didn't say it this way, but I'm going to say it this way, my contribution to my success, right? So many of us, and man, this is why I was a quitter. This is why I went 0 for a lot of stuff. It's because I would focus on what I was going to get, be it the reputation or the receiving aspect of, you know, the reward and the trophy and all of that. And then even the fact that in my own mind, I would see how great I was instead of saying, man, I need to have more reps than anything because I need to be consumed by making sure that I am giving my best and exhausting the fullness of all my potential in its unlimited and unfulfilled capacity so that I can win. So as business owners, one of the things we have to really be very solid about is the clarity of what we are to be doing, right? And the clarity of about what we are to be doing is less about the clarity of what we are to get from what we're doing. If we exhaust ourselves and consume ourselves with, this is what I do. Man, I tell you, I don't know if I said this to you, but man, I went 10 years from the time that I started with the John Maxwell organization as a coach. I went 10 years from that point trying to figure out what is in my niche. Matter of fact, I even fought the idea of a niche. But when I got to the place to where it's like, man, I'm not getting any traction, I need something, and I got to the right place and they asked me the right questions and I answered those questions. What is it that I do? More so, what problem do I solve and who do I solve it for? And what helped me to answer that question was understanding, like, what problem have I really solved the best? Like, what problem have I been so great at solving, not just for others, but even for myself, that I'm never going to not be consumed with trying to solve this problem? Well, I figured it out. It was helping people to eliminate family life crashing and burning while business life is thriving and vibing. What does that mean? That means you're in a position to where you're causing people to take what they do in business as a success and showing them how that same reality is able to exist over in the family life. And guess what? When you do that, you actually help them become more productive and profitable in their business life because of how it begins to flow between, how they begin to flow between one another. Well, I say all of that to say this. I don't care how many opportunities I get or how many opportunities I close. I care about how many I pursue now. Why? Because I am so consumed with seeing these excelling business leaders see their family life become fuel for their business to have quantum leaps. I don't care how many people say no. Matter of fact, when you say no, I get fueled. Why? Because why did they say no? What is it that I get from that no? Not only what does I get from that no might actually mean I should have never pursued them in the first place. Am I getting off track? Am I not pursuing the clients I'm supposed to pursue? The O for whatever, we got to look at it and ask the question, are we focused on our contribution as a priority? Or are we focused on our reputation and receiving that we're going to get from it?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You're right on track. I knew what it was. I got out there and I just had to hash it through, and it's like all week. So it's all fun, man. So Leo, we got 30 seconds left. Tell people how to get a hold of you, and what do you got coming up?
Team3l.com. Very easy. You can get all my stuff there.
All right, man. What's going on this Easter, man? It's a big holiday.
Man, I got a lot of stuff going on, man. I thought my featured episode was going to be dropped with Entrepreneurs on Fire, but it's actually late in the month. So that's going to help me too. I won't get inundated with a lot of leads right now. But, man, we got a packed weekend visiting with family, you know, singing some good songs this weekend. So it's going to be great.
Awesome, my friend. Looking forward to it. You have a great holiday weekend. I'll see you next time. This is Michael Rager, your business guide here on Biz Talk TV. We'll be back right after this.
Working is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager. I'm telling you, I just got a surprise thrown at me. We talked with Leo. We were just talking about curveballs. Producer out there, Diego, threw a curveball. All right, so we're going to do a long 8-minute talk We're going to try to do 8 minutes. We're going to talk a little bit about something that I'm really passionate about, and it's fishing. Those of you guys that know me and followed me and saw me on social media, one of my companies is called Teach Your Business to Fish. And why did I come up with the name Teach Your Business to Fish? Teach Your Business to Fish, for me, it's not a biblical thing. I'm not we heard give a man a fish, teach him, he eats for a day, teach a man to fish, he fishes forever. Yeah, that's part of it. But Teach Your Business to Fish was my passion. That's what I love to do. I love to go fishing. And ever since I was a young kid, that's what I love to do. So one of the things that I find with business owners is 9 times out of 10, when I sit down and talk to them, they don't know who they're fishing for. Leo and I were just talking about that. We've got to get down. He talks about niche, coming down to what do you do, why you do it, how you do it, and understanding your niche. And I like to tell this story called Fishing with Hot Dogs. Right? A lot of my clients, if you're my client, you've been around, you've hung out with me, had a whiskey or a cigar, you've probably heard fishing with hot dogs. And here it is. Most business owners fish with hot dogs. This is what they do, especially when they start out. The reason they fish with hot dogs is they're trying to catch anything and everything. There's me and my little boy, and we're actually giving this talk. Well, when we go fishing with hot dogs, what does it mean? Fishing with hot dogs is when I was young, probably about Cameron, a little bit older than Cameron was there. I was probably 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. My mom and dad, we had this nice boat. We had this really nice white Bayliner boat. We used to go take it in the weekends to stay at this place called Metro Beach. I grew up in Detroit. If you're from Detroit, you know where that is. So we'd go to Metro Beach. We stay on the boat for 3 or 4 days at a time. And I told my mom, hey, before we go, we got to run over to Ray's bait shop. We go over to Ray's because I need some worms. And my mom looked at me, being a young kid like that. She goes, look, Michael, you are not bringing some nasty, stinky, smelly worms on my nice white boat. And I said, but Mom, I'm going fishing. I got my fishing gear. This is going to happen. I got my bobbers, my sinkers, everything I need. What am I going to fish with? And Mom said, hot dogs. And I go, what do you mean hot dogs? She goes, hot dogs. That's what you got, Michael? You better go fish. So I did. And I went out and I fished with hot dogs. My question to you now is, did I catch fish? Now the answer was yes. Yes, I did. But here's the problem. I didn't catch the fish I wanted to catch. I used to read those magazines and I used to see the pictures of the guys with the big bass and big walleye and big northern pike. That's not what I caught. I caught catfish and suckers and carp, and I thought at the time were very undesirable species. And that's what happens with a lot of business owners. They go out and they fish right now. They fish with hot dogs and they catch a lot of undesirable species. So about 12-year-old Mike, he started doing some reading, and he went up to a place called Ludington, Michigan. He went with his grandparents. I went with my grandparents. They took me up to Ludington to go see some friends. And in Ludington was known for catching big Chinook salmon. I'm talking 25, 30-pound Chinook salmon. So my question to you is, if I fish with hot dogs, can I go catch salmon? The answer is maybe. We may be able to dunk a hot dog down there and maybe a salmon will eat it. Well, here's the problem with that. We look at it. We got to look at what salmon are, what do they do, how do they live in the Great Lakes. So this is the time we're fishing. We're fishing on Lake Michigan. And the salmon at that time, if you look me up a little bit, I've actually got a master's degree in trout biology. So the salmon in Lake Michigan, they live in deep water. So they were living in water that was 200, 300, 400 feet deep. They weren't living on the bottom. What they did is they found this temperature break. And salmon live primarily between 58 and 72 degree water. So that could be anywhere in that water column. So the thing is number one, they're probably not going to eat hot dogs. But number two, if I put the hot dog on the bottom, they're certainly not going to eat it because they're not there. Your clients, where are they? Where are they hanging out? And if you've ever fished on Lake Michigan and you fish for salmon, we fish for something called downriggers. And downriggers, what they do is there's a big lead ball and it puts that bait exactly where that temperature break is. And guess what? We troll around. So we troll and move our lures around. So we're going and we're hanging out where our customer is, the salmon. But you know what I'm not trolling with? I'm not trolling with darn hot dogs. I'm trolling with spoons and flies and plugs and all these other things that salmon eat. I know exactly what they want. That's your sales and marketing. As a business owner, you've got to know exactly what your clients want, where they want it, how they want it, how they want to eat it. And that's the kind of thing that you don't do as a business owner. What we do is we go around and we start throwing hot dogs at everything when we start off. And that's what happens. I've got a client right now. We sat with them. They're a $5 million company. They want to become 12. Here's the problem. They're fishing with hot dogs. They're trying to catch everybody. And what we're telling them is they can't. In order for them to get to the 12 million, they need to catch a salmon every week. All right? Last year, they only caught 3 salmon. So how are we going to grow if we only catch 3 of our perfect clients a year? What we got to do is fish for them specifically, and that's what they're not doing. They're taking everything that comes in, and what we're finding out is most of them aren't really good clients. They're carp, and they're catfish, and they're suckers, and they're bullheads. They're very undesirable species. As a business owner, we need to go get the desirable species. I mentioned earlier that I was 0 for 3 last week, and before I went into my talk with Leo, and I really was. But only one of them were really my desirable species. The other 2 weren't. They weren't really my perfect clients. I had meetings with them. I was going to help them. I thought I could help them. Here's what happens as business owners. Our hearts get so big, we want to help everybody. When we help everybody, we help no one. We got to get to the point that we were figuring out we've got to do what's best for us, the business owner, for our clients, for our employees, for everybody that's involved with our business, and that's what it's about. So I'm telling you as the business owner, one thing you don't want to do is fish with hot dogs. Stop it. If you're fishing with hot dogs right now, stop it. If you are going to try to catch everybody, stop it. If you think you're going to throw a net and catch everybody, stop it. It's not going to happen. Figure out where you're at. Because that client told me that they needed one every week. They said, but Mike, we just don't know. What happens is our clients, some of them, we took them on as small, tiny clients and they grew into big ones. Well, guess what? You had a baby salmon there and you didn't know it. You were going to catch minnows. You happened to just catch a baby salmon and it grew into a salmon. What you've got to do is you just got to be able to identify a baby salmon when it's a baby salmon. That's what's going on in business, and that's what you need to do to get big. Hey, I don't know what else to tell you. So we talked about fishing with hot dogs. That's what it's about. If you want to work with me, go to Teach Your Business to Fish. Get in there, fill out. You get my download, my free book. You can see about when we go fishing with Mexican Gulf Fishing Company. We got that coming on. Read my article. Book a meeting with me. Get on there, right there. Enter the free book. Get it. Book a meeting with me. We will help you. We're going to make sure you're not fishing with hot dogs. I'm Michael Reed, your business guide. We're going to see you back here on Biz Talk TV next week. Go out there and make it a great week.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Le invita a su servidor Javier Solórzano a que todas las noches en Heraldo Televisión esté con nosotros entre las 21 horas y las 22 horas del centro en Referente. Estamos informando, tratando de que usted tenga todas las piezas de este rompecabezas informativo cotidiano a través de Referente. Lo esperamos, Heraldo Televisión, Referente, 21 a 22 horas. Javier Solórzano.
According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds. Homes and businesses without a reliable security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Alert 360 provides custom-tailored rock-solid security solutions to residential and commercial customers. Whether it's home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood protection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, 24/7 alarm monitoring, and life safety, Alert 360 is your ideal solution. In addition, Alert 360 has smart home and business integrations like access control and video shield for a complete peace of mind, protecting what matters the most and reducing energy costs with our top-of-the-line automatic scheduling functions. Alert 360 offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Don't be a victim. Take a strong step today. Call Rosana Torres at 832-863-8574 for your free consultation.
Stop and think. How often do you take the time to set goals? And when you set those goals, how often do you hit them? The problem is the word goal setting. We all have goals, but goals are just wishes. Goals are what we want. What we really need is called result setting. My name is Katrin Becker, and what I do is create tailor-made result plans that ensure people will hit their targets. If you are committed for real results, let's chat and see which program is right for you and your team. Goals are just what we want, but together, results are what we will achieve.
Hi, my name is Elias Basabe, founder of Little Maria's Cafe restaurant in West Houston, located in 2901 Wilkers Drive, Suite 137, first floor. Here you will find a family-friendly and relaxed environment where you can enjoy a delicious homemade breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We know you need to get to work fast, and we want you to enjoy a tasty, quality, and healthy homemade food. So come and visit us for a great nutritious meal at an affordable price. We specialize in tasty breakfasts, deli sandwiches, fish, even barbecue cookouts. Little Maria's Cafe has it all. We only use the great quality of bird's head meats and products. Just like you, we love to get you up early. Little Maria's Cafe is open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can dine in with us during breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or we can